Hey for faces, it is Klaireeberry. I just want to do another video on 5 reasons to not do a zero carb diet, a carnivore diet, a keto diet, extreme keto. So I'm just going to talk about this for a few minutes. I want this to be a real short video, just giving you guys facts and answers about this in case it starts to get into your head or somebody around you's head, because it is very, very, very dangerous. Okay, Shawn Baker, the king of carnivores, he is a very unethical person, walks around calling himself Shawn Baker MD when he's lost his medical license for incompetency and radical ideas that are obviously not true, but yet that doesn't keep him off of Twitter, Instagram, and everywhere else. I'm just going to jump right into it in really no particular order. Eating meat only does not give you vitamin C. And Shawn says, well, shouldn't we have scurvy if we're not eating vitamin C? And he's using that as proof. First of all, we don't know what he's really doing. If he's that unethical, he's probably lying about the supplements or foods that he's actually eating. And second of all, this diet is so restrictive that when people do eat this diet, they probably end up cheating and eating something that has vitamin C. So meat actually, you think of it as having no vitamin C, but it does have a tiny, some of the cuts of meat or whatever do have a tiny little bit of vitamin C. So even like I think 10 milligrams a day or something is going to keep you from developing any real serious issues with scurvy. However, that does not mean that 10 milligrams or whatever of vitamin C per day is optimal. You're going to have over time, you're going to have a lot of problems stemming from that. A lot of, again, just non-optimal things in your body. People talk about the weight loss in this and, it supports muscle and all of this stuff, but it's whack because, eating that much protein in a day, just meat in a day, actually will kill your appetite. It really does. And people are like, look, that's good. That shows that I'm getting all I need. No, there's other mechanisms to where that depresses your appetite. When you're in ketosis, it depresses your appetite because it thinks you're starving and it doesn't want you to go crazy. Your body, is like protecting you from the effects of starvation. Okay, so it kills your appetite. And if it really comes down to it, let's think about true health. Is having an appetite better for you, or is not having an appetite? Of course. When it comes to true health, having a good, healthy appetite is good for you from when you're a child to when you're an older person. You want to eat the right foods when you have a healthy appetite, but having a healthy appetite is associated with health. That's why it's called a healthy appetite. So there's too much protein. You can get a lot of problems with acidosis, diverticulitis, because that is too much for the kidneys. That is too much for your body. Too much acid. It's acid forming. It's just not good. And then when you look at diabetes and the insulin factors, which they ironically claim as a positive for them, without even realizing that, meat is more insulinogenic than a lot of vegan foods. Beef is more insulinogenic than brown rice. So it's like one of those things that's like, hello, you're using double speak is what they're doing. And you can see this is evidence in Shawn Baker's own blood test. He's got diabetic blood level ranges. This is wide common knowledge. So if what he's saying is true, if this is protective, if this is good for your insulin, good for your, insulin sensitivity, which it's not, then he shouldn't have that. And all the studies show, there's literally hundreds and thousands of studies that show the opposite of everything that he claims. He's just banking on the fact that your average Joe is not going to go and do that. They're just going to be like, oh, look, there's good news about my bad habits. Let's do that. So heart health obviously is a huge one. When you're eating that much saturated fat, that much cholesterol, obviously you're going to get high cholesterol and blocked arteries. And Shawn Baker obviously has really high cholesterol. Case in point. And people like that try to say, oh, well, guess what? There's this one little study that shows that cholesterol is not a big deal and it's not even linked to heart disease. But when you look at the amount of research that is out there, the vast majority, like not even close, all the scientists agree that vegetables are good for you, whole grains are good for you, red meat is horrible for heart disease. So don't follow people who lose their medical license. Follow people who are still practicing, still producing research, and still promoting the facts. And again, these aren't what you're going to see in the news, okay? So don't get your ideas from the Daily Mail. Follow the stuff that's been tried and true and that we've known for 100 years. At least 60 years we've known, this. We've known, and in fact, if you go back to Hippocrates and go back to ancient times, they knew it too, that vegetables were good for you. So don't let these sensationalist claims get you sucked in or get your loved ones to be sucked in. So, like I said, just decades of research talking about this. So one of the things that, especially in regards to heart disease, that Shawn Baker and the likes of these people try to claim is talking about the Inuit and the Maasai and different groups like this, that they're saying, oh, look, they eat only meat, so this proves that a carnivore diet is right. Well, let's just hold on there. Again, lots of videos devoted specifically to this topic, but the people who originally researched the Inuits went back decades later. They didn't do real science. It's just like Weston A. Price. They weren't doing good enough science. They weren't looking at all the variables. They just jumped to conclusions. And decades later, they went back and actually did real autopsies and found out that these people did have extensive heart disease at about the same rates as the standard American diet, okay? When you look at their claims about the Inuits are not even carnivores. They're not even carnivores at all. When you look at the Inuit, they're actually eating from 8 to 54% of carbs. Of their diet is carbs. They do have heart disease. Look at the real studies. Don't just look at one study. Look at the mass of studies and put them together. That's why meta-analysis is so much better than just looking at, oh, this study of 213 people that was done for 16 weeks, which is what most of the low-carb diets. I've very rarely seen a low-carb study that, is being used to promote low-carb that goes past 16 weeks or so. And even the diets that are claiming it's healthy, if you actually read through the study without just reading the conclusion, then you'll see that they very clearly state long-term has not been proven even safe. So that's the one thing that I really want to make clear to anybody considering this diet, is that it's not proven safe long-term. Yeah, people used to think cocaine was good for you. So it's no surprise that people are doing this, but it's just so messed up. So you move on to talking about fiber. Fiber is good for helping with our cholesterol. It's good for helping with our gut health. Now, again, Shawn Baker and the likes of these people try to make crazy claims about gut health using these numbers like they're all, encompassing, and the stuff is not backed by science. What is backed by science is that a high fiber diet increases your, diversity, and it increases your gut health, and it helps clear things out, and you don't want putrefied meat rotting in your colon. It causes colon cancer and many other things. So it's just, again, who are you going to believe? Somebody that has lost his medical license, or this whole entire decades-long group of research from real researchers who never lost their medical license? It's like night and day. So just these crazy claims, again, they may sound too good to be true. You may see something that he's claiming and be like, oh, but again, one study is not enough. One selective sample is not enough, okay? People are dying because of this every day. And I just wanted to share a kind of, again, just a baseline intro sort of video like this to where people can get knowledgeable and maybe help somebody out. If all it is cherry picking studies. And they're picking the outlier studies. They're picking the crazy studies like we all know, between setting up the study in the first place and the funding of the study and the scientist bias and all of these factors, we all know you can make a study pretty much saying whatever you want, depending on how you're going to spin it, how you're going to look at it, even how you're going to spin the results. There's a lot of different ways that you can do it, especially when you have small samples. If you read the book Whole, which I highly recommend, by T. Colin Campbell, he talks about this and how the vast majority of researchers have felt pressures, and that's not okay. It's a very big flaw in the system. So you do have these outliers. You can find a study to support pretty much anything that you want to, but when you look at the quantity of studies, when you read the fine print, when you look at the funding, when you look at the, you know, the whole study and not just the conclusion, then you can really start to see a bigger picture and put the pieces together. Science is pretty much clear on things like this, that you need lots of vitamin C, that you need lots of fiber, that you should have little to no red meat. So anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And yeah, you can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, and at Klaireeberry.com is where I post a lot of my studies. So I'll post different studies that I find that are like low carb studies that are promoted by, that are funded by the Atkins or whatever. I'll post those to kind of call those people out, but I'll also just post a lot of high carb, high, you know, vegan supporting studies as well. So yeah, hope you guys are having a great day. I will talk to you later. Thanks.